Good day, David Kelly here for Grassroots Vegan. It's been day 18 now since I've been eating 100% raw, no cooked food. When I say 100% raw, what I mean is I've been eating a low-fat, raw vegan diet of predominantly fruits and vegetables with a minimal amount of nuts and seeds. And why am I doing it? Because I feel that at my age, it works really well. Normally, I would usually eat raw until 4 and follow a low-fat vegan diet, which is great. It's a healthy way to live, and you can enjoy eating cooked food as well. But I find for myself, at my age, that when I do eat cooked food, that I tend to bulk up more than what I would like to. And not that I'm an unhealthy weight. If you look at me, I don't look like I'm overweight or obese, but I'm actually heavier than what I would like to be because I run. I do long distance running. And I just recently joined up with a running group. And, I thought that I could show them a thing or two because I've been running for years. But let me tell you, I was humbled. We were doing the sprints the other day, 500-meter sprints, and we did 10 of them in a row. So you do 500 meters running fast as you can. You'd stop for a minute, and then you'd do it again. Well, the first 500-meter sprint I was keeping up with them, and then I'm kind of slipping behind. By the end of it, I was way behind these guys. They, were just blowing me away. And I realized, part of my biggest mistake as a runner was that I've been running alone. I was like a lone runner, and I would never join a running group. I'm my own guy, right? I just run at my own pace, and that's fine. I mean, believe me, because at the end of the day, running is about enjoying it. It's about getting into the buzz of running, and there is a high to running. And when you get into it, it's addictive. But if you want to improve your game, you got to be a part of a group. You got to get some kind of coaching going along. Read a book about running, which I've also started to do. And this is where I'm at right now, that, I'd like to up my game and get faster. I've got the distance. I can run for forever. I mean, I can run all day long, but it'll be at my pace, and, I take forever to get from point A to point B. But in the past, it never mattered. Now I would like to improve my speed, and a part of that is also being light. And for a fast, long-distance runner, I got a little bit too much weight I'm carrying. And so I just find that at my age, at age 54, I don't know what it is. Even if the food is low fat, when I eat cooked food, I tend to retain water perhaps. Maybe it's not fat. But I just get bulkier from it. So I've been 18 days without eating any cooked food, and I'm quite comfortable with it. Now, you got to be in the right place to do this. I mean, number one, it costs more money to eat this way because you're eating more fruit. And fruit, although if you buy one individual fruit, it may seem inexpensive, but when you're eating enough fruit to satisfy your caloric needs, then it gets quite expensive. A lot more expensive than eating rice or pasta or any other kind of cooked carbohydrate. So there's that to consider. And then, even though I am eating raw and I'm planning on continuing this journey, that doesn't mean I'll never eat cooked food again. I most certainly will. I love cooked food, and I'm going to enjoy it. But it's going to be at the right place in the appropriate time. And what would that be? Well, it would be like when I go out to dinner, for example, to a vegan restaurant, and they're serving, interesting vegan cuisine dishes. I don't want to miss out on that. I want to enjoy that. And I want to enjoy the fellowship with me. And just eating a green salad, it just isn't going to cut it. If they offer a fruit salad, and you can get a big fruit salad, I'll take that as well. But no, I'm not anti-cooked food. It's just, I'm choosing what works best for me. And I just find, I think when it comes, the secret is low fat, right? Keeping it low fat, keeping it vegan, and not, I can go further than that. Don't drink alcohol, don't drink coffee, don't take drugs, the obvious stuff. Get a good night's sleep. All that matters. And have a good attitude about life as well. But everybody's at a different place. And you may be able to handle the cooked food. I think when you're younger, you can handle even higher fat content than what someone my age can handle. I just find it seems to be, and this is why you see older people my age, the old geezers, who were once, when they were younger, were skinny and trim, and now they've got this big gut and they're carrying a lot of excess weight. And it's because their body can't handle it anymore. Their metabolism is slowed down. They're not digesting the fat like they used to be able to, but they continue to eat the same way as a young person. And, I just find that as I'm progressing in age, that there's just certain things that don't work well with me. And high fat is one of them. I have to keep my fat level low in order to, at the very least, maintain my weight. And then I have to be physically active. That's another key component. But I could be physically active, but if I'm eating a high-fat diet, it won't matter. I'll still gain weight. And I know this. I used to, when I was younger, when I was in my 30s, right, I was working in landscaping, and I used to eat anything. I predominantly meat and dairy diet with vegetables and fruit as well. I also ate a lot of junk food too, and I drank alcohol. But yet, when I was working in landscaping, because you were working 10-hour days in many cases, maybe 11 hours, and on weekends too, and you did this for like 8 months throughout the year, you got pretty leaned up. It didn't matter what you ate. But as I got older, that changed. And I noticed that in my 40s, I got out of landscaping because I became a full-time artist. I was making a pretty good living as an artist for a while. And so I started, I slowed down in my physical activity, and I just started gaining the weight. And so I figured if I took up running, I could still eat what I like to eat, and I'd lose the weight because it worked in the past, right? Well, it didn't. I still continued to gain weight. I was just a heavy runner, and I ended up injuring my knees because of that. And my running, I had to stop running for well over a year, almost 2 years, and I did hot yoga during that period to heal those injuries. Now, once I became a vegan, and even when I became a vegan, because when I was first a vegan, I was trying to substitute the meat and dairy with a lot of oil and a lot of fatty vegan foods, a lot of fatty vegan plant foods. Or if I had vegetables, I would stir fry them in a ton of oil, right? Trying to make up for that, for the fat content that I was getting through the other foods I was eating as an omnivore. But So I wasn't losing any weight. I didn't see any health benefits. It wasn't until I went low-fat vegan. And back then it wasn't raw. I didn't even know about raw at the time. It was cooked food. But it worked like a charm. Within 3 months, I'd lost a ton of weight. And I continued to lose weight after that. And then later on, I just discovered the raw food scene. First, the high fat raw food scene with a lot of nuts and seeds and dehydrated foods. And I tried that for a while. It didn't affect my weight, but it wasn't sitting right with me. I don't know. It just didn't seem to resonate with me. So I did discover about 80-10-10, and that's how I came across the fruitarian diet and lifestyle. And once I got onto that and started practicing that and did 6 months 100% raw, wow, I lost weight. I didn't think, at that point, I didn't even think I had to lose any more weight. But next thing you know, I started noticing I was getting toned up. I mean, I was losing weight in areas that I didn't even know I had fat, like between my muscles and under my arms, and I was just trimming right up. And people were starting to say, you're too skinny. Well, if people start accusing you of being too skinny, it's either because you're anorexic, or and then you need help, or it's because you're practicing a fruitarian diet, you're living a very active lifestyle, you're eating a ton of food, but your body's metabolizing it all, and you are fitter than you've ever been in your life. And that was my case. And so, but it's interesting, people's version of a healthy physique is actually not as healthy as it could be. But then events occurred in my life. My marriage broke up. I went through a lot of trial with that. That kind of I went back to eating cooked food, still vegan, went back to eating cooked food after that. And that's kind of where I've been up until recently. And I noticed that I started to pack on a few pounds over that period as well. So I'm back on the raw food wagon, I guess you could say. And I'm enjoying it. It's not an effort on my part. And a part of it is I don't put food restrictions on myself. I don't believe in that. Like, that is, when you do that, you're setting yourself up for a fall. Be open-minded. Enjoy life. I mean, this is what it's about, right? It's about being happy on this diet. It's about being well-balanced. The last thing you want to do, I truly believe when you create food restrictions, you are setting yourself up for eating disorders. And you don't want that. So, yeah. And when I say I have no food restrictions, I have no food restrictions. Would I ever eat meat again? Under certain circumstances, I would. Like, for example, if I was stranded somewhere, I had nothing to eat, and I needed the energy to get from point A to point B for my survival, absolutely, I would. I mean, I'd be dumb not to. What am I going to die a vegan because I wouldn't eat the meat to get me to a place where I could buy some fruits, So there's a common sense element to it. But my ideal preference are fresh, organic, ripe fruits and vegetables. And if I can get that, that is my first choice over anything else. I think, boy, I've been talking for a while now. I think that's enough for today. Have a great day anyways, and fruit up. Eat your fruits, eat your vegetables, and enjoy life.